Is it just me, or does it feel like Lauren Boebert is constantly in a battle with Marjorie Taylor Greene to see who is the dumbest member of Congress? They seem to outdo each other every single time words come out of their mouth. And honestly, I thought Marjorie Taylor Greene for sure won with her recent tweet about signers of the Declaration of Independence. Because look at this brutal community note. Only 2 of the 8 people she listed here were actual signers of the Declaration of Independence. Which is really sad when this whole post is about signers of the Declaration of Independence. So I thought this was for sure a lock-in win for Marjorie Taylor Greene. That is, until Lauren Boebert just asked the dumbest question of her career. And people are roasting her all over social media for it. And it's definitely a contender to potentially beat Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, I do think in this battle to see who the dumbest member of Congress is, Lauren Boebert has been at a slight disadvantage. It just feels like Marjorie Taylor Greene has been in the news just a little bit more than Lauren Boebert. So sometimes we can kind of forget just how dumb Lauren Boebert is. But taking one look at these clips is all we need to be reminded.
You're not aware of any employee taking something that one would consider a vacation time and bringing their computer and maybe logging in just a portion of that time, or not at all? We have more than 25% of federal employees not logging into work, and they're teleworking.
Congresswoman, I do take issue with the characterization that 25% of individuals are not logging in.
It's in this leaked document right here that we just submitted into the record.
You're basing that from 2020, which was in the last administration, and I can't speak to that.
I voted for it, yeah.
You voted to keep it as a criminal offense.
That's correct. The full council did.
We have records that show that you were in favor of removing that criminal offense and allowing public urination.
No,
Is that something that you intend to pursue in the future?
No. The legislation you're referring to that came from the Criminal Code Reform Commission changed public urination from a criminal to a civil offense. The council then changed that to maintain it as a criminal offense at the request of the mayor.
Thank you. I yield.
Well, it's not going to work. And with that, I yield back.
You know, every so often, Mr. Garcia, maybe you could just lift up that picture of our President Trump sleeping. As you say, I think he's praying. But if he is sleeping, you know, he certainly looks pretty while he sleeps. Maybe it's an endearing moment of prayer, though. I know when I fall asleep on airplanes, you know, my mouth kind of drops open. And, you know, his mouth is kind of tight-lipped. So maybe it's just a somber moment of
I mean,
thought.
he's sleeping. It's been reported by multiple press outlets.
I was in the
that
courtroom
he's
today,
sleeping.
and I could see why someone would fall asleep, just like George Conway fell asleep today in the court hearing. You know, it's kind of slow in there. It's not as exciting as the House Oversight Committee, but I just wanted to say that's a lovely picture you have of President Trump, Mr. Garcia. Thank you. And I yield.
Ms. Boebert, you've repeatedly taken credit for projects in Colorado that you asked for funding for, but then you voted against the bill in the end. Bridge over the Roaring Fork River in Glenwood Springs, water treatment plant in Gunnison, I-70 interchange in Grand Junction. You're able to vote no and get the praise for voting no because you know that there are enough other Republicans who are willing to vote for those bills so they'll pass. My question for you is this, and just a short answer, it truly is a yes or no question. If you were the deciding vote, would you still have voted no and killed all of those projects in Colorado that you now take credit for?
Yes. Then why is the backlogs for Social Security applicants increased from 41,000 to 107,000?
Because we've been historically underfunded for a number of years now.
I don't think you're underfunded. You're funded at the Nancy Pelosi levels. At the Democrat levels, we just continued that same funding.
So I would say
at pandemic level spending.
So I would say we'd have an increase of over 8 million beneficiaries over the last 10 years. At the same time, we experienced our lowest work staffing levels at the end of FY22. That's a math problem. I mean, that is a problem. If you have those workloads, increasing, and you don't have the staff to take care of those workloads, you're going to have the backlogs that you're talking about, Representative.
It is just so amazing to see just how dumb Lauren Boebert is. And it's really hard to believe that she's not putting on an act. This is just who she is. And honestly, it's kind of a danger to have someone this dumb in Congress, especially considering this new dumb question that she just asked. Because she posted to Twitter saying, "I wonder what could have caused Joe Biden's rapid physical and cognitive decline." And then she posted 4 images of him getting a vaccine. There are so many things wrong with this tweet. 1. Vaccines are not causing any negative health effects. That's just lies made up by anti-vaxxers. 2. Joe Biden is definitely way more physically well and healthy than Donald Trump, the person that she's rooting for. We see Biden out getting physical exercise, biking. We see him doing physical stuff all of the time. It is clear that for his age, he is very physically fit. And 3, Biden does not have the cognitive decline that Lauren Boebert is saying that he does. Sure, Biden slips up and has some bad nights here and there, but it's not like he physically can't do anything on his own. We have seen time and time again that he is both physically and mentally there. And in the times that he does slip up, that's not cognitive decline, that's just him being on the older side. But here's the thing. Joe Biden is on the older side, so he has an excuse for having those slip-ups every once in a while. But you, Lauren Boebert, you make mistakes and you are just dumb all of the time and you don't have an excuse. You are young enough to not be experiencing the same things that Joe Biden is. And this is exactly what she's being roasted on here. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these replies. Low blow, Lauren, which is weird because you usually save those for when you're at the theater. What caused yours, Lauren? What's your excuse then when you don't know what you're talking about during hearings? What's your excuse? You do know that Trump got the vaccine too, right? F, you're so stupid. Holy crap, I find it hard to believe you earned a GED. So sad that people around the world see this stuff and wonder why the richest, most powerful country in the world has such idiots in its Congress. You're vile, go tend to your grandchild. What caused Trump's? I don't know. What caused yours? LMAO, the last person in the world who should talk about someone else's cognitive decline. To this day, I wonder what could have caused you to take/pass your GED 4 times. Reminder, this Republican representative failed her GED high school equivalency test 3 times and was finally gifted a pass on her 4th try out of compassion. Occam's razor says, he's old. So overall, Lauren Boebert with these dumb comments shouldn't even be allowed in Congress. It's scary how she was even elected. But I am curious as to how far she will go in her battle with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who will end up with the title of dumbest member of Congress. Personally, I'm not sure exactly who will end up with the title at the end, but what I do know is that it will be an extremely close race.